Welcome to James Hates Everything in this impromptu stream on Saturday evening. Appreciate everybody for joining me and stopping by. Of course, in the last 12 to 18 hours, we've had lots of news about Basic Fun and the WrestleFest Ultra Machine with leaks of the games list, more pictures yesterday on Super Game Room Dudes, in case you missed that. And of course, just a few minutes ago, Michael B dropped the first listing of a WrestleFest product over on Costco in the UK with that new countercade coming in at $189.99. But now we have something new to bring you. And of course, before we dive into that, I want to thank everybody for dropping by, checking out the stream. As I said, appreciate a like. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that stuff. So let's get this ready here quickly because I was messing around with some stuff. But before we jump into it, I want to give a big shout out to Mike, who sent me, Michael B, the Game Genie, who had shared this Facebook post with me of the little portion of the video you just saw a moment ago when we kicked off the stream. This is coming to us from Arcade Gamer, who dropped this short over on Facebook. And as you can see here, it says the official WWE arcade machine is coming October 13th. Now, Arcade Gamer is a retailer over in Australia. So I took a look, jumped over there onto their website. And of course, we have our listing. So as we take a look here, you can see the Basic Fun WWE Ultra Series 2-player arcade machine coming in at close to 1,200 Australian. That's $11.95. Now, I'm hoping it's just super duper more expensive on Australia, because if you convert this, it's close to $800 US, $795 for this Ultra Series. So hopefully that's just a recognition of some sort of tariffs happening over in Australia, because that is absolutely an outrageous price. Of course, there is our side. You notice, of course, we have no Legion of Doom. We have no Sergeant Slaughter on here. And you guys have seen some of these photos. Of course, the 5 games include WrestleFest, Superstars, Super Dodgeball, the big Pro Wrestling, and of course, Acrobatic Dogfight. Not exactly the games we are looking for. MG says, wrap it up. The Canelo fight is coming on. So more photos. Of course, this is the photo you guys probably saw last night on Super Game Room Dudes with the you got the Supreme series right here, you got the Ultra series and the Countercade all in here. And of course, we've got shots of them playing Super Dodgeball on the cabinet. You can see this man sitting down, so it's your typical 3/4 scale. Don't expect this thing to be giant. There's the kids standing next to it. And we get a little more shot over here of the Supreme series. Looks to be a little taller, maybe up to this guy's forehead. So, and of course, our volume, our on-off button is, go back here. See, again, missing those characters off that screen. Here's a better shot of the front with all the different players. Of course, the WW with the F having been removed. It says World Wrestling Entertainment instead of Federation. And of course, 17-inch monitor. There's our controls, which we've seen, and we're back here. So let's jump into some of the details. Of course, it says tag in for the ultimate showdown with Arcade Classics WWE Ultra Series arcade game, featuring 5 action-packed titles in one deluxe cabinet built for head-to-head arcade battles. Relive the glory days of pixelated wrestling with WrestleFest and Superstars, where you can suplex your way to victory as legends like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker step into the ring with the Big Pro Wrestling for big over-the-top grappling action, then dodge, dive, and counterattack in the fan favorite Super Dodgeball. Take to the skies an acrobatic dogfight where fast-paced aerial combat adds an unexpected twist to the lineup. Each game is faithfully recreated with authentic arcade visuals, original soundtracks, and gameplay that hits just like it did in the arcade. The oversized 17-inch liquid crystal screen, dual joysticks, responsive buttons, and glowing light up marquee bring the full arcade experience to your home with 1 to 2 player action and an AC adapter included. It's ready to plug in and play right out of the box. A true knockout for WWE superfans, retro gamers, and collectors. Ooh, isn't that exciting? We have battle it all out in 5 arcade style favorites: WrestleFest Superstars, the Big Pro Wrestling Super Dodgeball, Acrobat Dogfight, and 1 powerhouse cabinet. Authentic gameplay with classic graphics and sounds. You can immerse yourself in nostalgia. Looks just like the original with 5 games in one: tag, dodge, dive, and dominate. This collection brings WWE style action and retro thrills in every round. 2-player action, dual joysticks and buttons make it easy to challenge a friend or team up for tag team brawls, just like the arcade. The 17-inch liquid crystal screen, oversized full color display. I love how they say oversized when this is probably small. Delivers crisp visuals. There's that crisp again. And dynamic gameplay that jumps off the screen. Light up marquee adds the classic arcade glow to your game room and collection shelf, just like the original. Of course, the game list we already said. We've got some height here. So we have 156 centimeters high, 48 centimeters wide, and 61 centimeters deep. I will let you do the conversions. Weight 28 kilograms, recommended 14 and up. So pretty interesting. Responsive buttons as opposed to unresponsive buttons. Absolutely. This is the Ultra Series, which is equivalent to an Arcade 1-Up Deluxe. So the Supreme is more the XL size. So that's the one with 4-player. That's the one you're going to be looking at. And says, did they add Taker but not include Legion of Doom or Sergeant Slaughter? That is a good question. Is Undertaker on Superstars? Because maybe he's over on that one, which is why they mentioned the Undertaker. Because as we look at the front here, we can clearly see no Undertaker showing here. So it makes me wonder if that's just on the Superstars game, but who knows? I didn't see him in any of the other shots. Just double checking real quick. Yeah, that's Dodgeball. Don't see him in there. So obviously they mentioned his name, but I don't see him anywhere. There's Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, so no Sergeant Slaughter or Legion of Doom. Kind of stinks. It says Undertaker is only on WrestleMania, which we do know Basic Fun is releasing the smaller arcade classics WrestleMania, and it's possible that WrestleMania game is also on the Supreme, because as Basic Fun advertised these, they said the Supremes would have more games, and being we know they have the WrestleMania over on that arcade classics, I would not be surprised to find it on this cab. And so maybe the whole little marketing blurb that we just read is being reused for all of that, because it also said looks good on your shelf, or this clearly isn't going to fit on your shelf. Um, or the countercade, that's right. Uh, no pics on the Supreme. So the Supreme is kind of just here in the corner. You can see the control panel. That is one that we have seen pics of in the past, but this is the official marketing shot for the Ultra series. I'm sure when we start seeing the Supreme over at the big box stores, you'll see that. As I mentioned, that countercade might be found over on the Costco.co.uk website, so you can take a look at there and his video for what that looks like and what games come on that one. Stupid Fat Hobbit says there is a possibility that Slaughter and Legion of Doom could be on the Ultra art instead, could be a space issue. That's possible, but I don't think we've seen him on those pictures either. The Supreme. Combat Tribes better be on that Supreme. Of course, that I think was located on the games list there when we saw the side. Will they have generic characters to replace the ones they couldn't license for? I wonder. Overtaker. That would certainly be interesting, Galaga guy. So wanted to get this out there so you guys could see it. Biggest thing I think coming out of this isn't these pictures. We've seen these pictures before. It is that price, and of course the release date October 13th, at least in Australia. So you can imagine if it's in Australia at that time, it's probably going to be in the US around the same time. They have pre-orders live now at Arcade Gamer for this cabinet, but at close to $800 US. I hope, like I said, I hope this is a result of tariffs in that Australian price, because man, if that is $795 here in the US, nobody is buying this thing, or $750 or whatever it works out to be, because that is very, very expensive. But it does have the WW license with it. So who knows? I mean, Arcade One Up has charged $750 for a deluxe before, combined with the license with all these WWE superstars on there. Maybe they have to charge that much. I would be shocked based on the prices they said coming out of Toy Fair of $499 and $599. But it's been a long time since Toy Fair, and these things come into reality now. You never know. But there you go. Something interesting, something new finally coming, and it's coming quicker than we think. Because I haven't seen any real indication of this. Obviously, there's been no pre-orders in the US. And so I was wondering how close to October we would actually see this start showing up. And it seems it's going to be October 13th. So that's all I have for you guys. That's all I wanted to update you with. And I know you want to go catch some fights, finish watching some Saturday afternoon football. And so before we say ciao, I just want to say hello to Ezekiel Chicago Retro Ranger, and really appreciate the $4.99 super chat. And he is saying hello to everybody and wants everybody to know that that is not the WrestleFest he knows. And I agree. It is very interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening with Basic Fun right now. So the next week or so should be very interesting. I'll just say that. But until then, and until next time, have fun. Maybe. Okay, now you can have fun.